Previously on the Jay and Dan podcast.
Weather Channel said the weather will be warmer, then slowly get colder as we approach winter. Thanks.
And I said Skatoon to them. They were all native Saskatoonians. They had never heard Skatoon before and were really into it.
So for the rest of the weekend, did he walk into bars? Hey, I'm O'Toole. Give me some.
When you walked into the James in Saskatoon on Friday, you walked in, give me some. And it wasn't anything big, literally. It was just a normal bowel movement. You know, when you flush and it's like, oh God, it's not going down. And then I always flush again.
Like my parents can log on and say, oh, here's Mike having dinner. Or here's Mike at the bank. Or here's Mike at the bar. Like things.
Mike at Chez Paris.
Razor. Razor. My back. You're in my back.
You're listening to the Jay and Dan podcast, presented by our good friends at Coors Light.
Oh, that'd be fun. Why can't we go?
Oh, come on.
That's.
I just went to adjust my glasses and I don't wear glasses.
Jesus Christ. I just went to put in my catheter and I don't need one. So things are off to a great start.
It's the week of September 24th. It's feeling like autumn out there. I don't know where you are in this great country of ours, but I'm sure it's the same wherever you are because that's how I just picture all the weather to be the same.
Right. And you're incorrect. I got a text from our buddy Reed out in Edmonton. His entire backyard is covered in snow.
Aye, aye, aye.
Yeah. Snow falling in Canada?
Yeah. But I do love a nice, crisp, sunny, like 15 degree fall day.
Oh, I agree. But that's what you're not getting in Edmonton. You're going, it's like summer and then boom, winter. Oh, this was a nice summer. Boom, snow.
Hey, you sent me a text over the weekend. You said, make sure you bring in the Vegas pool water lab report.
Yeah.
I brought it in.
Okay, let's hear it.
I finally called the lab today because Tubesy got this. By the way, it's been 1 year since Tubesy had his surgery.
And he's pretty much recovered, right?
Yep.
I mean, down there he's recovered. Can't speak for the rest of
So he got the sample for me in May, and I dropped it off in, I believe, July.
We move quickly around here on the Jay and Dan podcast. By the way, our guest today is Robert Lusetich, our friend from Los Angeles, golf analyst, written books about Tiger Woods. He's going to talk about Tiger's big victory on Sunday.
So Tubesy, friend of the podcast, he went to an EDM festival in Vegas. There was a massive pool party. We said, bring us back that water. We want to see what the hell's in it. So I dropped it off at a lab in the Durham region in Ontario. And these guys just test like drinking water all day. So I think this made their day.
It's a meth lab, basically, is what you're saying.
I think I made their day because they're like, well, what's this? They're like, well, it's in an Evian bottle. I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, we need like a sterile container. There needs to be a chain of chain of events that you have to follow to drop the sample. I'm like, well, it's from a Vegas pool. I didn't follow any of those. They're like, we'll do our best. So they sent me the results. They make no sense to me. So I called the lab today, and I gave them the lab ID number. And the woman who answered, she goes, the Vegas pool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the talk of the office, I bet, for a couple of weeks there.
Okay, so it came back pretty clear, actually. It came back with traces of some type of bacteria. So
where is the banana hot dog?
Acetylcholine semen.
It was generally present, the bacteria, but they said it's been sitting so long that they couldn't get a positive read on anything, and they said if there was only this much bacteria in drinking water, that you could drink it.
So that means the next time you're at a Vegas pool party and you're feeling a little parched, just take a swig of what you're swimming in, and you'll feel better in seconds.
But I was baffled.
Feel, not so fresh.
Because there was stuff floating in it.
In the Evian bottle sample, there was stuff floating in it.
Yes.
What kind of things? Like cigarettes, condoms, needles?
No, just like small particles. You could see them. Anyways,
Poker chips?
So that was extremely underwhelming, that Vegas pool.
Wow, that we waited all that time. But didn't the guy, when you initially dropped it off, say that he pretty much said it would have nothing in it because they put so much chlorine, and probably especially down there. Like your skin is probably just on the verge of bubbling.
They said if there's any chlorine, which there will be a ton in a Vegas pool, it kills everything.
All public pools, right? Mm-hmm. Think of all the kids waiting around in your local public pool, just pissing everywhere, right?
But not
just
even that.
Pissing and pissing and pissing.
Think about dead of the summer, people getting in covered in sweat.
Yes.
Suntan
lotion.
Like they probably haven't wiped their ass well.
Right, exactly. Many of them probably go take a and then are like,
yes,
you know what? I would wipe.
But I'm just going to the pool. I'm going to shower
tender.
after the pool.
I'll shower after the pool. The pool will clean out a lot of the gribblies in my bum. So forget it. I'm going into that pool. Well, that's what you're swimming in. And yet
by golly, Jesus.
And yet the chlorine will still attack it and destroy it.
Speaking of Gribbly, that's the new Flyers mascot.
That's right. His name is Gribbly. And that's because he is full of them.
And his name's Gritty?
Gribblies.
Gritty? And I want to know.
Okay.
I want to be a fly in the wall. The people that approve this.
I'm just going to say this, Dan. Someone in my life, I'm not going to say who, my wife.
My wife.
She says, looks like a homeless man. Like they based the mascot on a homeless guy outside the Spectrum.
Yeah.
My name's Ken. They know who I am.
If Youppi had a homeless brother.
Right. Who'd grown out all of his fur.
And who's tweaked out.
Yeah, big time tweaked out. Total meth head. Wandering the streets of Philly, giving to other mascots for $15, $16.
Daddy needs his rimmer.
That's what Gribbly looks like.
And he introduced himself to the crowd tonight at the Flyers game, and he did it by firing the shirt cannon at Flyers employees. So he's gritty.
Oh, yeah. So Gribbly is 1,000% out for blood. Because, as we know, Philadelphia has the greatest mascot in sports, the Philly Fanatic. So I guess they just thought, we can't top the Fanatic. So let's go with the exact opposite. What if the Fanatic had a ne'er-do-well homeless brother who showed up and the Fanatic was like, all right, I guess I can try to get you a job. Sixers aren't going to take you. Obviously, I'm with the Phillies. No chance the Eagles take you. But no one really cares about the Flyers, so I think you might get a chance there.
Now, just a hunch here, but maybe this is brilliance on the part of the Flyers?
I kind of think it is.
Because they knew everyone was going to talk about it.
That's right. That's right. And don't you think everything that gets announced on social media now, I think the initial reaction, whenever a reaction's so over the top, like with outrage, like with Gribbly's announcement today, or last year, remember the Edmonton Oilers had that terrifying like bobcat mascot or whatever his name was? It was like a meerkat or just like some sort of... He was like a cat, like a homeless cat. And everyone was like, what the f-? Like, he's terrifying. Mm-hmm. He's going to terrify everybody. Maybe just go with an oil drop and call him Droplet or something like that. But no, Dropsy. But they go with this terrifying cat, and yet we talked about it for a long time afterwards. So I think you might be onto something there,
And
Jules.
You being a father, you know the importance of mascots. That's all kids want to see. They want to do the wave, they want to eat food, and they want to see the mascot.
We went to Isabel's first Blue Jays game, and all she cared about was seeing Ace. That's all she cared about. I was going to say BJ, but it's Ace now. That's all she cared about the whole time. And when he showed up, she was so happy, and that's all she talks about now. Actually, she called him the Penguin. When can I see the Penguin? It's not a penguin. It's a Blue Jay. I want to see that penguin. Get that penguin up here, she said.
So yeah, way to go Flyers. Good job. And way to go, who sent the video to us? The Pats.
Okay, this is amazing. The Regina Pats, Jake Lusetich, I hope I'm saying that right, their captain, started in a video that is so funny and so perfect. He introduces, yes, the Pats are selling Experience Regina t-shirts. Stuff. Can we hit the music? I love that they're embracing this. And I think this will be a huge, huge seller for them. And of course, as we always do, we ask for free all the time. And on the television program yesterday, you asked them to send us some Experience Regina t-shirts. And today on the Twitter, they sent a picture of them packing up one t-shirt.
And sending it to the address that you told them to.
Yeah.
Which was?
Downtown Scarborough, across from the mall. Which is pretty, right, Stoff? That's pretty much where we are. Downtown Scarborough.
What, postal code, maybe?
Yeah, I forgot. I don't even know. Every time someone says, can I send you this or that at Scarborough? I'm like,
Google it.
Yeah, I Google it. I'm like, all right. Yeah,
Channel 9 Court. I know that.
I know that part. And then
Scarborough.
I know we're in Scarborough. Why don't we all just move to Scarborough? Like, get our commute down to like 5 minutes.
We've got a big lot in the back here.
Yeah.
Why don't they build an employee condo?
That's an awesome idea. Well, there is a daycare on the lot. Weirdly enough,
there is?
Well, there's a church, right?
Oh, that's not our daycare, though.
No, but like lots of TSN employees have sent their kids to
really?
daycare. Yeah, because it's like, it may sound strange, but when you drive into TSN, there is a church in the driveway. I don't know what denomination, is that what the right word? I don't know which one it is, but
all I know is all are welcome.
Oh, Stoff has the postal code. Stoff, what is it?
It is M154B5.
M15 for Bravo 5 if you want to send us shirts, hats, drugs, cases of ice-cold Coors Light. Thank you, Coors Light, for sponsoring the podcast. And if you want to send us daycare vouchers for the church here on the TSN lot.
But if TSN builds an employee apartment building,
yeah,
and then
all the that's going to go on in there.
That's the thing. You have your own reality show.
Oh man, that would be bonkers. Who bangs first?
So you have cameras throughout the halls, in all the condos. Boom! It pays for itself.
Yeah, it actually does. That's a great idea. People would watch it. Who do you think would actually move in? Because like some people, like say Hedger, she wouldn't move in. She's married. She's got a kid. She wouldn't participate. But say, I mean,
I'd stay a few nights.
Yeah, you could move in.
When my girls are at their mom's, I'd stay over.
I'll move the family in.
If it's rent free.
Absolutely. We'll take a deal any day of the week. Mudrik, he'll move in.
Yeah.
Who else? Nabil, he'll move his family in.
Stoff will.
Stoff, would you move into the TSN condo?
Oh, free rent sounds tempting. So
yeah, it's big time.
Everyone
tempting.
from the LA version of the podcast definitely would move in because I believe they're all homeless now.
Yeah. Well, we got to check in on. We keep forgetting. We got to check in on Mike Botticello because the head pro at the Willows in Saskatoon was worried about him. So weirdly enough, he is doing exceptionally well. That's not that weird though, because he, like Kramer, he falls ass backwards into money and work.
Yeah. I wanted to give can I give a shout out?
Yeah, and as you're doing that, wanted to mention, did I mention last week about I probably did. Sorry, everybody. The Carl's Jr. thing?
How someone no, I don't think we've given the update. We said they were all closed down, but there are some still open.
A bunch of people texted me and direct messaged me and said, Edmonton has one. I think Vancouver has a couple. So, yeah, we were wrong on that one. So apologies to Carl's Jr. They're fighting the good fight out there. They're still making it happen. Or at least they're trying to.
You know who's making it happen? A restaurant you recommended to me the other night, and I just wanted to say hi to them because they are such fans of the podcast and such fans of the show, and they treated me and my friend like gold. Kazamoto.
So Kazamoto, part owned by Phil Kessel.
What?
Yes.
They didn't tell me that.
Yes. Phil's got money in that restaurant.
That place is like 50,000 square feet.
Yes, Phil's got some of his Penguins money in there. Apparently in the summer, he's there like every day. Holding court.
Unreal.
Crushing dynamite rolls right before a brisk workout.
And then went to our other buddy, Patrick, the chef at Aloe. They have a bar in Yorkville. Went there, saw him.
Yeah, you had a wild weekend in the city.
Yeah, I had to get out of Orono, you know? You just have to blow off some steam.
I love it. So you went down. You went to Aloe Bar. That was fun. You went to Kazimoto. I know lots of people here at TSN love that restaurant, Kazimoto. It's sushi, by the way. Mm-hmm. And
best tempura I've ever had. Best tempura shrimp I've ever had in my life.
Did you do the thing where you just said, just bring food out, like I don't care what you're bringing, or did you order specific things?
Both. They were bringing stuff. I was ordering stuff, and it was a great time.
Wow, that's going to be your regular haunt now. You, Phil, Kate Burness, just the three of you every night.
And also went to the Four Seasons lobby just because, people are like, oh, you're hanging out there. I like going just to look at the people there.
And so the bar at the Four Seasons in Toronto, in case people don't know, it's called the D Bar. It's called the D Bar.
Because the main chef's name's Daniel.
That's right. But I don't think they thought that through. Or again, going back to the Gribbly thing and the Edmonton Oilers mascot, maybe they were like, this name is so ridiculous, no one will forget it. Yeah, so D-Bar. It's
the
nice.
amount of wealth sitting in that place.
Yeah, the amount of people buying their clothes off a mannequin in that place.
At a
very high-end
a Louis
place.
Vuitton store.
Yeah, just going in and saying, I'll take all that. And I'm going over to the D-Bar and I need a new outfit.
Deliver it to the D-Bar.
Send it to the D-Bar in my name. Now, you... and I got the okay to ask you about this. You also went with your friend to one of my former favorite establishments in the city. I can't really go there anymore.
I had to go because you always discuss it, and we were walking by it, and she's like, let's head on in. Let's check it out.
And what we're talking about, of course, is the Brass Rail.
Mm-hmm. Sure, that's fine.
And... so, this is your first time at the Brass Rail, world-famous strip club on Yonge Street, just south of Bloor, and your thoughts overall?
Went to the main section.
The main floor.
I was terrified.
What? Because it was so packed.
It was like stadium seating of men, just like... and I was like, I was scared, and I left.
But... lots of ladies walking around looking for dances, correct?
I didn't even make it to a seat. I ran.
Like, you got.
And then I was like walking out, and the guy's like, well, "Why don't you try upstairs?" I'm like, "Well, what's up there?"
Yeah, that's what I told you. I said you have to go to the upper brass. Now, you didn't see in the main floor the older dudes tending bar, looking like they were from an old timey saloon. Like that's
so,
how. Like those guys have.
One of them gave me change because I needed change. I thought I was have to tip the guy when he sat me down, but I didn't even make it to my seat, so I didn't need that money.
Here's a quarter.
He gave me $50 worth of fives.
Jesus. Well, that's all right because I think they still have washroom attendants there.
They do.
Yeah, I think they do. They have like all these colognes and stuff.
I got a mint.
Nice. But yeah, whenever you go in there and you're like, I don't have any change.
But I think the main reason for them is to make sure people aren't doing copious amounts of drugs.
Probably, yeah, that's part of it for sure.
I think that's why.
Yeah. But also so you can have your selection of at least 50 colognes.
Drakkar Noir.
There's so many old, like, Shoppers Drug Mart colognes in there.
They've got some Brute, I believe, aftershave.
Yeah, that smells like a man.
Yeah.
Now, so you go upstairs. So this is the upper brass, as they call it. You got to pay a cover charge to get in there.
$20 a head.
That keeps the riffraff away. And then you go in and...
There was on some of the entertainers, there was a lot of disinterest.
On stage or otherwise? Yeah. But you see, they don't get paid on stage.
Right, okay.
They only get paid for the lap dances. So I think some of them don't even bother going.
But again, I just go to people. I'm not like staring at people watching, but I'm like watching this one guy front row. He's wearing like a Tom Brady jersey or something.
Oh, my God.
And a girl is sitting next to him for like hours. So I asked my friend, I'm like, she must be getting paid to sit there. She's like, probably not until he gets a dent. She's vested a lot of time in that guy.
Yeah. The only explanation there would be that he's a regular.
Maybe.
And that he's already given her a ton of money in the past, and she was just...
And he's convinced, like, okay, she's into me.
Yeah. Oh, big time. A lot of guys who go there are convinced of that.
And then, so we were sitting on these couches, and then it's a big couples spot.
Right.
So all these couples came, sat, they like, anyone sitting here? I'm like, no, have your Have your way with it.
Next thing you know, it's game night at the rail.
But the most confusing part to me was one of the people in the couples group, she had a cane.
Right. She was blind.
She was visually impaired.
Right.
But she was there. She was having the most fun out of the whole group.
Well, their sense of smell is heightened, and there's nothing like the smell of the rail.
So, yeah, I think they were there for a birthday party or something. So, anyway.
It was a kid's party.
Yeah. So I went there for like an hour or so and then took off.
And
then hit the McDonald's right down the street from there.
No, that McDonald's. That is well-loved McDonald's.
If head office McDonald's went in there, that place would be shut down instantly.
Way. That's got to be their highest revenue grossing McDonald's
There's
by far.
A dog sitting in there. There was someone sleeping. I don't believe the floors have been cleaned within the last 2 months.
Yeah, and is that a 24 hours one? It might be.
I believe so.
That's a hard-working McDonald's.
We were there waiting in line, and my friend, she goes like, they should stop taking orders. There was like 87 people waiting for food. They just kept taking orders. They're like, there are no orders coming out.
Who's working at that McDonald's at that time of night? Oh, man, that's
And I felt bad for the guy because they had a big sign up. Their drink machine wasn't working. And everyone coming up, yeah, I'll get a drink. It's not working. So
They're waiting for the maintenance guy to show up
and I'll go,
2 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
I'm so sorry I have to deal with these people. I'll have a burger and a milkshake and a fry. Thank you.
And some chicken McNuggets. And
can
I get a
beer?
drink? Can I get a couple of drinks? Right. Damn it. Sorry. Well, it sounds like a pretty fun night, though.
Yeah.
Think you could see yourself meandering back there sometime?
No, I'm not a strip joint guy.
Yeah, not your thing.
Nah.
I can't go there anymore.
You aren't missing much.
No, you're really not. I mean, it is fun to go with a group of people, though.
Yes.
It's an entertaining little night out. But, yeah, those days are behind me now. Now I just like to sit in my basement and think about all the things I did wrong.
Should we give our buddy a call here?
This is exciting. So, Robert, we've had him on the podcast on the Fox.
He's
Jane
been
Dan
live on the
2.0.
podcast even, I think.
Yeah, he came in the studio, I think, and he was with us in Sochi. And that's really where we got to know him well, and we all gained 50 or 60 pounds each. Mm-hmm.
He wrote a book on Tiger. He's literally written a book on Tiger Woods.
He's written the book on Tiger, and so he's wanted to get him on to talk about this big win at the Tour Championship. Pretty exciting to have Tiger back. At first, I was sort of like everyone else, like, just go away. And then yesterday, you're watching, you're like, yeah, man, this is awesome.
Yeah, I want to get to, because he was there for Tiger when he was at his greatest.
Yeah.
He was there for when Tiger was at his worst, and now so I want to see the change in person that he has seen personally.
And he, like Bob Weeks is on our television program, Sports Center with Jay and Dan, and yesterday, and he noted that Tiger, he thinks, Bob does, that Tiger's become a bit more of a softie in the last year and a half. I mean, 4 back surgeries and a lot of self-doubt, and a few Waffle House waitresses will do that to you.
Robert, have you ever seen Tiger near tears? That's the first I've ever seen it.
I can't believe that I'm already on your show.
You're here, buddy. You're here. Hey, we missed you, man. How are you, Robert Lusetich?
Let me tell you something. This place is not the same without you.
Yeah.
We need to get the band back together again.
I agree.
Yes,
I agree. Wouldn't that be fun? You, me, Schrager. Schrager was great. Schrager was great because someone sent him a tweet over the last week, like, we'd love to hear you back on the Jay and Dan podcast. He said, anytime, just waiting for my invite. So I instantly text him and say, hey, well, we'll get you on right away. Didn't hear back from him.
You're going to have to get a hold of his agent, I think.
Oh, yeah. He's got a lot on his plate.
There may need to be some negotiations.
Yeah, no,
I don't know if the green room in this podcast.
Oh yeah, maybe a robe.
Got room temperature every on.
Yeah,
or
maybe
is it too cold?
Maybe an Experience Regina T-shirt or two. Yeah, we have to hook him up. But yeah, no, in his defense, he gets up like at 2 a.m. for that Good Morning Football
And
show.
he's on the road every
madness.
weekend during the NFL season, so.
I know. The guy lives, and it's just madness. I can't even imagine living that life. But he loves it, so you've got to, tip your hat, and if you love it, you get up and you do it.
That's right. Wait, is there a siren in the background there? Are they coming for you,
You know what?
Lusetich?
This is Los Angeles, boys.
Are you in the Valley right now? Are you at home in the Valley?
I'm at home in the Valley, and they even have ambulances in the Valley. So it wasn't a police car because this area is quite sort of calm. But but there is indeed a hospital not far away. So
Oh, yeah.
you know what? We'll all say a little prayer for that ambulance and whoever's in it.
Good idea.
My guess is it's Kanye, and they're going to get him in Hidden Hills.
Yeah. For trying to rescue him from falling into a Kardashian chasm.
You
That's
do.
right.
You do have famous neighbors, though, right? You see people walking around all the time around you.
Yeah, I don't know about all the time, but if you guys lived here, you know what it's like. You just wander around. The first maybe week that I was in Los Angeles, I was going to a bank, and back then they had. Do you remember those things like traveler's checks, which don't exist, I don't think, anymore?
Yeah.
And I had some traveler's checks, and I wanted to cash them, so I was going to walk into a bank, and who walked out of the bank? Don Johnson.
I love it.
I'm like, that's the guy from Miami Vice. I mean, yeah. So LA has that, but after a while, you just sort of go. I mean, once you get to, I saw Lisa Rinna in the line the other day, and I'm thinking, just hurry up. So,
How's she looking, Lisa Rinna?
she's looking cut.
Oh, yeah?
Who's Lisa Rinna?
She's Harry Hamlin's wife, right?
Yes,
Oh,
in fact,
okay.
Harry Hamlin was buying some sort of, chewing tobacco. The tobacco the chewing gum that not chewing tobacco.
Oh, like Nicorette?
Nicorette. He was buying some Nicorette.
Lisa Rinna. Oh, yeah, she's from Melrose Place, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, yes. Anything that who would know her is Binksy.
Yeah, Binksy for sure. Robert, have you been following the summer of Binksy?
I love the summer of Binksy.
Julie Stewart-Binks.
How can you not love Binksy? I mean,
yeah, she's great.
Regina's own.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Toronto's own through Regina,
through via Regina.
That's right.
We all come via Regina.
At some point in your life, you will come via Regina, and you will experience it. And
Exactly.
so you, were you at the Tour Championship, Robert, or were you?
I was not.
Okay.
I was not, but watching very closely on television. So much so that I canceled my own tea time in order to watch, because I was so intrigued by the big cat and whether he could get over this hump, which was a hump that many of us didn't think he'd ever get over again.
Now, I mentioned before you came on, you've seen him at his best, at his worst, and now you see him now. Where do you compare this? Is this a Tiger that you've never seen before?
Yeah, I think so, because he's sort of a recovering Tiger, and I think that he's going in directions that are sort of vaguely back to where he was once when he was great, but he's different. So it's not the same Tiger. I mean, I think in a lot of ways, when his father died, things changed for him. Suddenly, this obsession with being a Navy SEAL, all of these things that I think that all of us as sons, when you lose your father, there's something that you lose beyond just his physical body. There's a bond that gets broken, and I think Tiger sort of lost his way a little bit. And the interesting thing is, I think now his kids are at an age where they can appreciate what he is, and they've only ever known him from YouTube videos, like anyone that's under the age of 12 or 15 or whatever. So they don't know. They just heard of what he is, and I think now he's got something or someone to sort of play for, and which he did with his dad and his mother, of course, too. But so I think it's sort of a Tiger, well, I don't know what edition we're up to, but it's 4.0 probably by now. But it's a different Tiger, and I think he struck me as a guy that took what he used to have. Because if you noticed yesterday, one of the things that I really noticed, he was not, hucking it, sort of yucking it up with Rory. He wasn't engaging the fans. He was very much the Tiger I remember when he was at his peak, very focused, almost, hypnotized. And by the way, I'm not even exaggerating. He by the time he was 14, he knew how to hypnotize himself and to get himself in the zone. And this was, his father, who was a military man, a Green Beret, had a naval intelligence officer who was a psychologist, a friend of his, teach Tiger, breathing techniques. It's amazing what Earl Woods did. But these are sort of the old Tiger things, and the scandal changed everything because, he pretty much was so embarrassed and humiliated. You couldn't act like you were that cool anymore, and he certainly didn't. And but I think that he's sort of gotten to a place where he's at peace with all of the nonsense that he did that got him into the mess. But that was
almost all derailed when he got pulled over. Just over a year ago. I thought, okay,
but I think I think the road to yesterday's victory began in that car that night when he's just absolutely loaded on pills and decides that it would be a good idea to go for a drive. I mean, if you look at the transcript, he told the cops he thought he was in Los Angeles. I mean, he was in Jupiter, Florida.
Jesus.
And he was going somewhere to his house in Los Angeles. So, I mean, clearly the guy was just, out of his mind. But I think that was a cry for help. I think that was rock bottom. And I think that over the next few days, when he saw his mugshot all over the world and he saw that police video, which, frankly, that whatever you think about Tiger, that was a very sad video to watch this guy that had been so great and dominate a sport at the levels he did. And you see that video, I mean, it was just sad. I mean, he couldn't barely put his one foot in front of the other and follow instructions. But I think that made him, certainly the immediate, sort of upside was that he had to go to rehab. And he had to deal with these issues. And frankly, a lot of people in the society we live in now are just abusing pain meds, and other meds. It's so easy to get them. And so that was a huge leap forward. And then, obviously he had 3 back surgeries. None of them worked. And the last one was a bit of a Hail Mary, and it was a spinal fusion. And the doctors basically said to him, look, if this works, it works. If it doesn't, you'll never play golf again. And it happened to work. So from that place where he was, in a sense, spiritually cleansed as well as physically healed, he was able to get to where he got to yesterday.
Do you see, one of the things that I really noticed too yesterday, Robert, was when he had the bogeys, and then he flew the ball over the green, and he's trying to chip it back on the green. I think it was 17, and the one, someone with a camera takes a couple of shots, and he didn't lose it on him, but it was a little return to the old snarly Tiger with the crowds where he gets a little upset when someone takes a few too many pictures or this or that. And I thought, well, that seems like that's good. This seems like this is where he needs to be to win. Kind of ornery, as you said, maybe shutting out the guy he's playing with and just focusing on his game.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, he as they were coming down the 18th, he and Rory shared a little joke. But I've noticed this about Tiger over the years: he always likes the guys that he beats. so of course he's going to yuck it up on that last hole because he beat the crap out of him. But part of it also is that Tiger used to have a little expression, and he said, you can't be great without a bit of prick juice. And he certainly had the prick juice, and he knew he had it, and he didn't mind spilling it onto others. And I think that what we saw was, in that instance, was the sort of the idea, and I get, Weeksy, I think, is right when he says that Tiger has mellowed, because he has. He's 42. He's got kids. He's not the guy that he was when he was 19 or 20 or 22. But there's still inside there that competitor, and that and he will do whatever it takes to win. This guy was genetically engineered for winning, and he went off the rails because there were a lot of temptations in your way when you're a billionaire. So and you can look, when you can have anything you want in life, it's easy to be tempted, and he certainly was, and made a lot of mistakes. But I think coming out somewhat, as I said, on the other side, I think he now appreciates also the fact that it was almost all gone. Gretzky can't come back. Michael Jordan can't come back. Even if they wanted to, they cannot do it. But Tiger Woods, at 42 and in pretty good shape, can come back. And he lost it. So he knows what he lost. And maybe, just maybe, like I feel like the comparison with Tiger, if there was one, is Andre Agassi. When Andre Agassi got to number one in the world, suddenly he thought it'd be a good idea to do crystal meth. So, I mean, God knows where that came from. But the point is, he lost his way for a couple of years. He got to 140 in the world. And then he cleaned his act up, and he said, I actually love tennis. I'd forgotten this, but I loved it. And he came back, and he won 5 slams. And he came back a vastly, I think, more mature and better tennis player. It'll be interesting to see. I think Tiger has the potential. I heard Jack Nicklaus say this yesterday. He said that there's no reason in the shape that Tiger's in that he won't play at an elite level at least till he's 50 or in his early 50s.
Wow.
Which and that gives him 40 more majors, and he's got to win 5 to pass Jack. So I'm not saying he's going to do it. The odds are very much against him. But I'll tell you what, I never thought he'd win one more, and he's won a tournament. And now I'm pretty sure that a lot of people think he's going to win the Masters because he is now the favorite, the betting favorite to win the Masters.
After he won on Sunday, his peers were there, like Fowler and those guys. They were there to congratulate him. Bryson DeChambeau, he got ixnayed.
Tiger.
You had a great tweet about that.
It's Bryson.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but in Tiger's previous victories, there were no peers there waiting to congratulate him.
That would be 0 out of every win. 0 out of 79 previous wins, was there anyone there to congratulate him? No. I mean, look, there were guys that always, that somewhat, that liked Tiger and at least respected him. But the fact that he was away and then came back and wasn't really himself, it's, Russell Knox, the Scotsman, played with him early in the summer, and he said it was like playing with a mythical creature. Because it would be like these NBA guys playing with Jordan. I mean, you revere him. So the guys like Justin Thomas, for instance. Justin Thomas lives down in Florida. He spends a bit of time with Tiger. But what people forget is that when Justin Thomas was 7 years old, his dad, who was a golf pro, took him to Valhalla, and what did he see? He saw the last day of the 2000 PGA and Tiger win over Bob May in one of the great finishes in golf major championship history. And what did that little 7-year-old boy say? He said, one day I'm going to do that. And so you have this different dynamic now amongst these younger guys that, Tiger was their hero in a lot of ways. I mean, I think Jason Day, still hasn't played one good round when he gets paired with Tiger because he's so in awe of Tiger. And so it's a different vibe now, and the fact that Tiger's been friendly with them also reflects the fact that he hasn't been the number one player in the world, because when he wasn't friendly. He wasn't particularly friendly with anybody. So, and that's the way he, I remember 2009, the congressional in Tiger's tournament. He was in the final round. He was in the last group, and he was paired with Anthony Kim, who was, the wannabe, the only guy on the PGA Tour was a wannabe rapper. and he was Korean. But anyway, so AK always, thinking that he and Tiger are tight, swaggers up onto the tee and what up, man, what up? And Tiger just threw him such shade. He just cold shouldered him, and it left him there, and he was unable to play. I mean, Kim, there was no way Anthony Kim was winning that tournament, and he didn't. Now, previous to that, you had guys that wilted under the glare of playing with Tiger, and then he had other guys who just relished it, like Vijay Singh. Vijay didn't, he mostly lost to Tiger, but so did everyone. But Vijay has got the sort of the character of a bouncer. He's not a guy that's going to bow down. I remember famously at Firestone one year, Tiger's always cordial and said, good luck, and put his hand out. And they were in the final group, and Vijay looks at him and he says, Titleist 2, which was the ball that he was playing. Like, he had no interest in being nice. Yeah. And so, there was that element of it, but a lot of that was because Tiger was so good, and he was beating the crap out of them. So, these guys haven't felt that, but yesterday they got a taste of it.
Can we ask you before we let you go about Dustin Johnson?
Oh, boy.
What's going on there?
Yeah, what's happening?
What's going on with this guy? He has it all together. He's number one in the world. And I mean, really, he played great yesterday. That was maybe one of the kind of the lost stories that throughout this turmoil in his personal life, in case people don't know, his wife, well, not even wife, I don't think they're married.
No, I don't think they're married. I think they're
the mother of his children.
Waiting for an excuse not to get married.
Right. The mother of his children, Paulina Gretzky, deleted all his photos off his Instagram, to which I believe you tweeted she kept the one of her and Tiger, which is, means she has a sense of humor.
She did. That is actually a sense of humor. I didn't quite expect that of Paulina, but yes. Look, I mean, where to go with old DJ? He's... To give you a golfing story, yesterday, and I tweeted this out too, so somebody noticed yesterday that he was putting cross-handed and asked him, when did he start doing that? And he said the 6th hole on Saturday. I said, have you ever changed your grip of your putter in the middle of a tournament before? And he goes, never. And then they said, and have you ever putted cross-handed in a tournament before? And he says, never. So, I mean, it's not like the Ryder Cup's coming up or it's the Tour Championship. The guy just marches to the beat of his own drum, and let's just say he's never guilty of overthinking things. He's and listen, I don't think Paulina is. When I hang out with you guys, I'm going to go and check the list of Rhodes scholarships, and I'm pretty sure she's not on the list, but just in case, I'm going to check it out.
Oh, Robert.
They're a match made in heaven, some kind of heaven.
I hope it works out for those kids. They seemed so happy at one point, but...
Yeah, and simple.
Yeah.
I saw Tiger had a girlfriend there. How long has he been with her?
I don't know anything about her, but she's been around a while. I mean, since Lindsey Vonn, I think he's had a couple of relationships just based on seeing photos on social media and whatnot. But the thing about Tiger is those are the sorts of cards he plays very close to the chest. So I'm not sure that he was exactly over the moon about her running out like that, but one time he won. In fact, that same tournament that I was telling you about that he beat Anthony Kim. The presentation was down on the 18th green, and I was standing near him, and I said, when do Elin and the kids run out? Which was a little dig at Phil Mickelson. Like, Phil Mickelson, it was like the releasing of the doves when he'd win a tournament with his kids running onto the green. Like the Vatican has released the doves. and so, I tell him this, and remarkably, he did not think that was very funny. And he looks at me and he says, that's not the way I do things. And I went, oh, okay. Right. So, he likes to play, he likes to keep his privacy, and as we know, he didn't do a very good job of that for a while, too.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, look, bottom line, I sort of, I've had the guy's a flawed guy, but I sort of like him, in a lot of ways, and I wish him happiness. I wish him to find some peace, and it looks like he's on that road, which is pretty cool.
Well, Robert, we miss Marina Mondays. That's when we'd all meet up for cocktails on Mondays. And you remain the only man I've ever been to a stand-up comedian with in which the comedian stopped because you were trying to have a conversation with him during his act.
I didn't realize I thought it was an open mic, and I was trying to give him some tips, like what might be a little bit funnier. I didn't realize he was actually being paid.
Like an example, the guy's like, hey, you ever go to a grocery store? Robert's like, yes, I was at the grocery store today.
Yeah. And I was trying to give him a better grocery store joke. I mean, listen, you know what? The world is filled with haters. That's all I can say.
That was the only. That was the one and only time I also went to an IHOP. I'd never been to an IHOP, and that's the.
Well, that was a very late night IHOP, but you know what was crazy about that, Tulsi? What was really crazy, and I remember about that, is that there was a family with a daughter who was the two girls who were like 10 and 8, and it was like 2:00 in the morning. You and I may have been hammered, and they were eating dinner at an IHOP.
Maybe they just landed or something like that.
Oh my God!
Can I just hear Dan's Robert Lusetich impression one more time?
I didn't get into an accent. Hey, mate. Oh, he's always at the grocery store today.
That seems English. That seems English. Maybe Mary Poppins.
I think that was the Australia by way of Peterborough.
That's right.
The first one sounded more Italian the first time. So like, hey, I'm a Robert Lusetich, huh? But you are Italian. That's right? Your ancestors are Italian.
That's true. My parents, in fact, are both Italian. So I just happened to be born in the land down under, but. So and in Canada there are many Italians also.
Oh, are there ever? Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Robert, we appreciate it. Can't wait. Are you coming up here anytime soon?
Yeah, when are you coming to hang out?
Well, as soon as you guys you talk to my agent, let's get something going.
Get something in the books.
Well, actually, no. Schrager and I will get the same agent. I'll leave Schrager's agent to do the negotiations. We'll get up there.
Don't do that. We'll
guys,
never see you. Yeah, I miss you too, buddy.
Say hi to Whip for us.
Will do. The Whipster is down in Florida as we
Of course he is. Of course he is.
But that guy's life, my God.
Yeah.
Well, I will do, and take care, and hopefully see you guys soon.
Thanks, Robert.
buddy.
There he is, Robert Lusetich.
That's Robert.
Great guy.
What's Robert on Twitter?
Is it at Lusetich? No.
But how
He's a good Twitter follow.
How do you spell Lusetich?
Lusetich.
Let's see if you're right. Lus. Okay, yeah. At Robert Lusetich. So at Robert Lusetich on Twitter.
Good follow.
Yeah, good follow for the golf season.
Yeah. Check him out.
Or at any time. He just makes comments and gets into fights with people.
Yeah, he likes to stir things up, that crazy Aussie.
Okay.
Hey, I'm a Robert Lusetich, huh? Parmigiano Reggiano.
I've never been so embarrassed I'm like, Robert, shh. But then the guy came up after, and we hit it off with him, so it was fine. I thought the guy's going to come down and punch him.
Very charming. I mean, he likes to talk, and he likes to ask questions, and he likes to, as he said, I'm a journalist. I ask questions. So I remember in Sochi, we were there for 2 days, and there were probably 30 Russian people working at that hotel, and he knew all their names and all their backgrounds in 2 days. He'd be like, oh, that's Tanya. She's from Siberia, and she's just here for 2 weeks. How do you know all that? I'm a journalist. I ask questions, mate. Which is what he does.
Okay, well, that was fun.
That was a great time.
Oh, I sent Stoff an email today. I was cleaning out some stuff in the basement. I found a treasure trove of old air checks.
Oh.
But we need a tape player in which we can record something digitally off a tape player, so Stoff is currently looking for that.
Oh, boy. That's going to be wild. Well, looking forward to that. Well, all right. Well, hey, have a great week, everyone.
See you later. See you later, mate.